Have you ever been punished without being heard, or maybe you have been judged by someone who already hates you? If the answer is yes, then you have already experienced what law calls as unfair justice. Welcome to my channel Subhoda on Legal Roads, an initiative of Thrakshar Academy. Hey everyone, today I'm going to explain you a simple 3 golden rules of natural justice through a simple story which you're never ever going to forget. So let's say I am going to name the story as School Justice Mystery. Now, as a part of my story, let's say for example, there is a school whose name is XYZ School. A very reputed school where a serious incident happened. The window of a classroom was found to be broken. And the main suspect was a guy, let's say, whose name was Rohan. Now, the principal immediately formed a disciplinary committee, and as a result, what happened next teaches us the 3 powerful principles of law. The first principle is NEMO JUDEX in CAUSA SUA, which means no one can be a judge in his own case. So there was one person whose name was Mr. Sharma. Of course, he was one of the committee members. Now, Mr. Sharma was basically the same person who was in charge of the classroom where the window was broken. Now, obviously, he was very, very angry, quite obvious. And that's why, he said that, I want strict punishment for this guy, that is Rohan. So now the disciplinary committee sat and the proceeding was going on. And Rohan was a very calm and a sorted guy. And he kind of stood up and said that, sir, he said this to Mr. Sharma that, sir, how can you decide my punishment? Because you are the victim. And obviously, you can be biased, right? As a result, the principal actually took a pause and he thought for a moment and then he removed Mr. Sharma from that disciplinary committee. Because we all have to understand the underlying principle that justice demands only one thing: no bias, no personal interest, only and only fairness in every aspect. Now, the second rule of natural justice talks about Audi, Alterem, Partem. It means both the parties must be heard. So hear the other side. Now let's come back to the story. Now initially the disciplinary committee was not at all, ready to hear the story or to hear the side of Rohan. Now what the committee said was that we don't need any explanation. No hearing is required when we are going to give the decision. Now, obviously, Rohan questioned, and Rohan said that, am I not allowed to speak? Now, the moment Rohan made this statement, there was an instant silence, and all the members of the disciplinary committee stared at him because they knew that what they told was not correct. And obviously, the principal immediately took a pause and he told that no, this is wrong. We have to hear Rohan's side as well. So we have to hear him first, and only then we can come up with our final decision. So Rohan got the chance to defend himself, and he explained that the window was already cracked, and he didn't break it intentionally. And also there were the other students who belonged to his class itself, and they also supported Rohan's statement. And also Rohan also mentioned one more thing, that just a day before, the previous evening, there was a gusty wind and a lot of thunderstorm and rainfall that happened, and maybe because of that the crack happened. Now little bit more of investigation was done, and obviously it was found that Rohan was not guilty. And this truth came out only because Rohan was given a chance to be heard. Now comes the third rule of natural justice, which is reasoned decision. That means that we need to give proper reasons for any sort of judgment. Now coming back to the story, after full hearing, the committee decided that Rohan is not guilty, and the principal came out with something very interesting. The principal added that we are not just going to give a statement that Rohan is not guilty, we are also going to give reasons as to why he is not guilty. The committee gave the final decision that Rohan is not guilty. And the final decision was also backed by proper reasoning and evidence that the window was already broken 1 day prior. It was not done by Rohan. The evidence clearly showed that the window already got a crack 1 day before, and there was no intentional act from Rohan's end, and obviously he was not guilty and he cannot be held responsible. This is nothing but clear transparency and proper reasoning. And you know what? Something very beautiful the principal told to everyone in the school, that justice is not power, justice is fairness. And these are the 3 golden rules that every system must follow. Number 1, no biased judgment. Number 2, hearing both the sides before coming to a conclusion. And third, giving reasoned decisions. Well, if you understood this story, you have understood one of the most important concepts of law, that is principles of natural justice. Summing up the 3 principles of natural justice, we have number 1, NEMO JUDEX in CAUSA SUA, second, Audi, ALTEREM, Partem, and third talks about reasoned decisions. Please comment below which principle do you think is the most powerful amongst these 3, or all of them are equally powerful. Let me know in the comment section below. And if you want more simple law explanations like this, then please do like my video, share my video with your friends and family and everyone, and also ensure to subscribe to my channel, that is Subhoda on Legal Roads, which is an initiative of Thrakshar Academy. Remember the formula: natural justice is equal to fairness plus hearing plus reasoning. If you remember this formula, you will never forget the 3 principles of natural justice. See you in the next legal story, where law becomes simple, relatable, practical, and unforgettable.